dealing with an expert, with guns, with knives, with his bare hands.
Hi, Chase.
Hello.
Rambo 5 is planned for release September 20th.
Yeah.
Wide.
A big wide.
And it just so turned out
Yeah.
I have a Hollywood insider at my disposal
Turned it up.
who just happened to send me the entire movie plot
Oh my god.
that allows us to pre-review this upcoming film.
Oh my
Pretty
gosh.
exciting, huh?
Wow, that's like what? A couple days away?
It's a couple days away, and it's going to be opening Friday wide
Oh my gosh.
all over the world. New Sly Stallone movie. Sly Stallone. God damn it, I'm stupid.
He's got a sly in his eye.
He's known for sequels, so
Yeah, that's all he does.
yeah, and he makes a lot of money. Rambo 5,
Oh boy.
directed by Uwe Boll. He's done such movies as German Fried Movie,
German fried movie?
Blood Rain,
Wasn't there a movie called Blubberella?
Auschwitz,
Wait, what?
the actual Auschwitz, and Blubberella.
He directed the building of Auschwitz?
And Blubberella.
Yeah, Blubberella. Oh god, what a mistake he is.
Starring Sly Stallone, known for the Rambo series,
What?
the Rocky series,
Oh my gosh.
and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Carl Weathers as Apollo in an unnamed role. Apollo Creed is what I'm
Oh
being
my
told.
gosh, he's making a return from death.
From death.
He's
Running time 61 minutes.
wait, what? It's just over an hour.
61 minutes. There's a trend in Hollywood right now of
61
movies
in 1 minute.
that are lasting hours and hours,
Isn't that
right?
62 minutes? 61 in 1 minute?
As you noticed recently, movies like It Chapter 2 are running 13 hours long.
Yeah, I noticed
And so Sly Stallone has realized that people don't want to sit through that.
So we'll make an hour, 61 in 1 hour, well, not 61 in 1 hour, 61 in 1 minute movie?
John Rambo is back, and this time he wants revenge, which is the
plot of
Tagline.
every Rambo movie.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so here it goes. John Rambo is now retired and living on a beach in Florida. He is penniless and unmotivated since the events of the last movie. If you recall the events of the last
I
movie.
killed a bunch of Chinese people.
He killed a whole bunch of Asian Americans.
Just murdered a bunch of Asian people.
He's put on weight and doesn't really have any prospects now, as he's like 82 years old and pretty tired.
Oh god,
His meager pension is almost drained.
pension. How does he have a pension? What job did he have?
Mercenary.
Gotta give me some Merc care.
I'm assuming he had a military pension or
Merc
something.
aid.
For
You think they wouldn't pay him considering he murdered, like, a lot of people?
well, he did his time. Thus,
When?
thus he earns a living by selling metal he finds along the beach, as well as selling junk art creations at local farmers markets.
So he's got, like, a crappy little metal detector? He's one of those guys?
No, he just digs. This helps him put bread on the table, so to speak. He puts bread on the table.
Well, if he's fat and out of shape, he's eating too much bread.
Yeah, this is an interesting role for him. Thus, he earns a living by selling. Did I already tell? Oh yeah, we already went
He
over
sold
that.
metal and art? He makes art?
Art, yeah, art, junk art.
Yeah.
Like with bits and pieces he finds, and he sells them at farmers markets.
Doesn't sound like something he'd do, but okay.
One day, he befriends a very young boy
Uh-oh.
while searching for metal treasures along the
He
beach.
drags him to a sewer drain.
Although he is gruff, Rambo, not the boy, and not very kind to the boy.
The boy's gruff.
Over the course of a number of months,
I don't like you, Rambo.
he loosens up and eventually invites the young boy into his van for ramen and ice cream. During this time, He learns that the boy comes from an unhappy home.
Does he live in the van or?
Yeah. The van at the
okay.
beach, yeah. On the beach in a van, apparently. His mom is a heroin addict, and his dad, shown generally in flashbacks as Apollo Creed, is a nurse who is bullied at work by female nurses.
Apollo Creed is a nurse.
Yeah, Carl Weathers comes back as the father of this boy.
Do they explain how he came back from being murdered?
No.
And why he's in a Rambo film?
No.
Okay. I accept this as
Did
the
I
truth.
say he's bullied?
Sure.
Well, it came from an insider, so obviously it's...
This is all true then.
Obviously. Rambo does not know this is Apollo Creed,
Yeah.
as it is the boy's flashback. So Rambo is just kind of sitting there while the boy's having flashbacks. Therefore, a connection to Rocky is not made.
What?
His parents are split up. The mom gets him part-time and did out on weekends and such, but he spends most of it on the beach. The boy, not
Rambo?
not John Rambo. There's a little backstory that shows the custody battle in the court. So
John
there's,
Rambo's 150-year-old mother who's addicted to heroin.
Yeah. Yeah. So we get a glimpse of the court, like they have the back and forth in the court with the prosecution or however it works.
This is pretty deep for a Rambo movie.
It builds. It gets really good. We really get a glimpse into the family situation.
Yeah.
Rambo is initially unmoved by the child's story until he learns that the mom was actually, I thought it was Colonel Fong Bao, but actually her name was Ko Fong Bao. I assumed the Ko was Colonel.
So she had no military rank. That's just her name.
Just her name. I thought it was Colonel.
Okay.
Fong Bao from the First Blood Part 2 movie. That's the mom of the boy. Played by Julia Nixon, returning from not having acted in a movie since then.
I don't even remember that character.
It was, yeah, that was his whole motivation in Rambo Part 2.
I don't even remember Rambo Part 2.
Yeah, it's a pretty good tie back. I'm pretty impressed.
Wow, very good.
Rambo thought she had died in that movie because she was shot to death, and then he buried her body in the mud.
Oh, so it's a movie within the movie.
No.
You remembers her from the movie?
No.
Oh, from
real life.
Okay, I get. His real life.
Yeah. It turns out she survived, and she's 61 years old and needing some acting work. And he did have a crush on her at the time, if you do remember the movie.
He buried her?
He buried her in the mud.
She wasn't dead.
Apparently not.
So he buried her alive, and she got out, and she's also in Florida?
It would seem so.
Oh my god, what a coincidence.
Yeah. Because that was the motivation, is her. Now she's hooked on the smack, and Rambo decides it is on time. Rambo decides it's time to unretire and to save her.
From drugs. He's
From the smack.
He's literally fighting drugs in this movie.
He's fighting drugs. But first, of course, he needs his various supplies, which is knife, bow, arrows, matches, water, beef jerky. He also had a sweatband and a jade necklace, again from Rambo 2, because when she died, he ripped her dress off, tied it around his head. Do you remember the famous tying the band around his head?
Yeah.
Took a jade necklace off of her and put it on. Those were hers.
So he stole her stuff.
Yes.
Oh.
And he took it from Colonel Ko. His weapons
Colonel
and other
Sanders.
his weapons and other items were previously all pawned, and he needs those back in order to fight
He
drugs.
sold his bow.
He lives on a beach.
He lives in a van eating a ramen and ice cream.
It sounds pretty groovy. This takes us now to the second act. So now we're, I guess, 30 minutes into the movie. It's moving along.
25 minutes into the movie, yeah.
This takes us into the second act where there's more action now.
Yeah.
Rambo now has to go to the pawn shop, only to be told they were pawned off to a collector. So the pawn guy doesn't have the stuff. He threatens the owner with physical violence and is given a name and an address, which Rambo goes to. The person who lives there is initially not home, so Rambo has to wait a few hours until the guy comes home, and we see Rambo just kind of hanging around the neighborhood.
It's not in real time, obviously.
No,
this
no.
Is a 62-minute movie.
61 plus 1.
61 plus 1.
Rambo asks...
Wait,
asks... Huh?
That would mean Act 1 would be 15 minutes long.
Okay, 15 maybe. I haven't watched it. I only have the script.
It's 15-minute acts, you know.
Asks you a question. Rambo asks about his knife when the guy comes home and his bow and arrows and blah, blah, blah. The guy tells him to get lost in a harsh tone. Rambo threatens him now with physical violence.
This 82-year-old man.
Yeah, I guess maybe he's not as threatening.
I'm gonna beat you up.
He remembers he pawned those... So the guy now remembers he pawned them back to the original pawn shop.
Okay.
Rambo now goes back to the pawn shop and is very annoyed because he's been given the freaking... He's like, give me the runaround. This time the pawn shop admits that they have his gear, but it will cost him some dinero, some cash, some lettuce. Rambo now heads to his bank, where he manages to withdraw just enough funds from his pension.
Oh my god.
Money because he is old. I don't know what it has. Well, I guess he has a pension because he's old.
Yeah.
To buy back his weapons.
Okay.
There's a good amount of travel in the second act between the pawn shop, collector, bank. You really get to see Rambo in a new environment, taking public transit, like transportation.
But he's a van.
It doesn't work, I guess.
Oh, so he just lives out of this broken down van.
He lives out of a broke-ass van, and he pretty much walks and whatever. The third act, now, begins with Rambo returning to purchase his weapons. And he gets his weapons. He now sets off and is shown wandering around the town for a while, and he's mumbling to himself.
Yeah.
Rambo has a hard time recalling where he needs to go. Did I mention he is suffering from dementia now? Well, he is.
Oh my god, it's his greatest fight yet.
Yeah.
Dementia.
Rambo 5, dementia.
Rambo 5, where am I?
He is wandering around Los Angeles. This is the first I'm hearing about this. He is wandering around Los Angeles for quite some time before he...
This is the inside scoop, people.
He is wandering around Los Angeles for quite some time before he is retrieved by his family, who've been searching for him. He's been living in a senior home for the last decade, and the child was a figment of his demented mind.
Oh my goodness.
He also sees cats everywhere he goes.
Did I mention cats?
Fucking cats everywhere. Cats. That's what it says. His cats. He just frickin' sees cats.
So it's the whole movie riddled with cats?
In his mind only. You never see them. He is then... You just learn at the end. He is returned to the home, and the last scene has him dying in his bed, and he mutters to himself, I drew last blood. And then fade to black. Maybe he dies, maybe he doesn't. And that's the movie.
So it's 60 minutes of an old dementia-riddled Rambo trying to get back his stuff. Is any of it real? Does any of it actually happen?
It's all in his mind.
All in his mind. So the van is in his mind, the kid's in his mind.
The boy, Colonel Fong Bao, I guess she really did die.
Oh my gosh. Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Yep, apparently they wanted to take it in a different direction.
They wanted to turn it into a drama.
I would like to say a dramedy.
A dramedy.
Or a rockumentary.
Ooh, rockumentary. Turn it up to 11.
So, there you have it. It's opening September 20th.
Yeah.
And we, believe it or not, have the scoop.
Yeah,
on
we
this
have
thing.
the inside scoop. The first to to tell you the news.
How do you think it's gonna resonate with the audience?
Oh man, so many dementia patients are gonna totally relate to this movie.
I think so. I do. Completely.
Because you have dementia.
I do.
Yeah.
All right. That is it. Enjoy.